Can you look at the screen and see if there's a red dot on the screen? Just flip the screen around, it'll flip. Is there a red dot on it?
I'm so blind I can't tell. Yeah.
Okay, just flip it back around where I can see it. All right. And we got it on the GoPro too. Because I couldn't get the other camera on it. I mean, he was just so close.
Yeah.
Didn't got much of a beard. That's another reason I thought it was a Jake at first.
Good enough.
Oh, it's a legal bird, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's all I want. Well, friends, this is Troy Black with Backwoods Cross Trails, and also with Appalachian Custom Calls and Family Affair Outdoors. I want to thank you all for your sponsorships this year. I've been out here with Terry Gamble today. We've been after the turkeys since about 6 o'clock this morning, and we come to this spot this morning, didn't do any good. I got cold. We was hunting 30-degree weather, and I don't know what the wind chill was, but it was probably gusting 25 miles an hour at times anyway. I got cold. And so I went and found Terry, and he was snuggled up against some pine trees, and we decided to get out and go try some other birds. And we went and we set up on 3, and they hung up on us for some reason. And this afternoon we're sitting here, we come back to the blind, and he said, we'll go back here to the blind, and he said, see what happens. And so we came here, and we got in the blind, and to be honest with you, hadn't really heard anything much, just a time or two, thought I heard something here and there. Terry sit back up behind me about 30 yards or so and called, and I'm down here in the blind, and I was calling once in a while, he was calling once in a while, these Appalachian Custom Calls. And all of a sudden, I hear something walking up behind me. And Terry told me when he sent me down here, he said a lot of times right here on this point, he said they'll come up here and they'll kind of hold up, and he said they may not even gobble. And I heard something walking behind me. I looked back around, and when I did, here come this turkey. I thought it was a squirrel or something at first because I could see the limbs on the deadfall moving. And I thought, well, it's just an old gray squirrel or something. And then all of a sudden, right there he was, 5 feet from the blind. And then he walked out, and he come between me and the blind, between the tree and the blind, I mean, behind me. And he was actually rubbing against the side of the blind when he come by it. He was that close. He stuck his head up, it looked like, and just looked in it. He stepped out here, he looked at my decoys I had, didn't pay him one bit of mind, just looked at them. And I had to literally get out of my chair. I couldn't get the video with the big camera, so I hit the GoPro, had it recording, made sure he was on the camera, and I shot him at, oh, what is that, maybe 5-7 yards, something like that. And folks, I blew the head plumb off of him just about. I'm going to say it's probably got a 6 or 7 inch beard, probably got the old 1/2 to 3/4 inch spurs, and probably going to be a 17, 18 pound bird. I don't know that he's real big, but don't look like he's been strutting much or anything. We've been seeing a lot of strutting turkeys. So I'm going to say it was probably a last year's Jake, maybe, something like that. I don't know, 2-year-old bird maybe. But he come down, and when you've only got a day and a half, 2 days to hunt out of state like this, well, you go ahead and you take what you get. And we wanted something to eat here. I wanted something to share with my friends here in Mountain City. They've been gracious to me. And you know, today I told you, I said that you don't guide the guide. I said, you know, Terry knows these turkeys. He knows whether they decoy. He knows where they're at, you know, where to look for them at and everything. And I said, one of the things you do is you don't guide the guide. Folks, it's like that in life too. When you accept Jesus Christ, you don't tell him what you want to do with your life. When you accept Jesus Christ, you've also put your life in the hands of God. And you've got to trust him to direct your steps. That comes through praying daily, that comes from attending church, that comes from reading your Bible, that comes from fellowship with Christian friends. And, you know, I come out here today, and I prayed this morning in the blind that God would send me a turkey this weekend. And he did just that. He's faithful. You know, he knows what we want. and He likes to give us good gifts. You know, I'm preaching Sunday, and the only thing that could be better than harvesting this turkey would be if I see people come to that altar and accept Christ, or they're delivered from things. You know, I don't know why God's got me down here this weekend. I came to turkey hunting, and the next thing I know, I'm getting asked to preach, and having a good time down here with my extended family. But like I said, I'm just going to do what God tells me to do, and make the best of it. That's all I can do. But I want to thank Terry Gamble and Brother Gary for having me down here and allowing me to hunt up on their mountain. And I want to thank Appalachian Custom Calls, Jonathan, Scholl. Buddy, I appreciate the calls. I really do like them. They are a good sounding call. And Terry, you sound great on them diaphragm calls, buddy. If I hadn't known better, I'd have swore I had a whole passel of hens back up here behind me. But this thing come in, Terry had him walk about on top of him up there. And, you know, it's just interesting how he do. He said he would hear me calling down there and wasn't paying me any mind, but he walked around. He also went up to where we parked at, I think Terry said, turned around and come back. But like I said, you don't guide the guide, and if you'll follow the guide, this is the results. A bird to eat, okay? A blessing from God, from His great outdoors. And, you know, I trusted Terry to put me on some birds, and he did. You trust God to give you a harvest in your life, He'll do the same thing. Folks, this is Troy Black with Backwoods Cross Trails, and I hope that you take something more home from this video than just a turkey, okay? I hope that if you don't know Jesus Christ, that you'll come to know Him. You can call me at 270-213-0161. I'd be glad to share the plan of salvation with you and hopefully lead you to the foot of the cross to Jesus Christ. God bless, and remember, hunt safe, shoot straight, and glorify God in all that you do. God bless. Okay, you can stop. Does your phone take pictures? Oh, you ain't got your phone down here. I'll get some pictures of it in a little bit.
Did that stop it?
Yeah, if you hit the record button, stop. You can press the top button on the top. It says power.
Yeah.
Right there at the very back of it. On the top at the very back. You just push it and hold it for a second, and that'll shut it off.